Great pleasure in welcoming Brother Velayudham today. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. And he showed very interest. In fact, when we had the Seniors Day on October 2nd, when I was trying to finalize the program, Brother Velayudham is very enthusiastic. At his age, like I should not say his age, I don't see him as a senior person, but then I can say the amount of enthusiasm that is bubbling within him is such a great height that he came and said he wanted to share some thoughts and knowledge that he has done on service. At that point of time, I couldn't give him, so I said, no, we are already finalized with some speakers. We don't have time. But then I said, definitely we want you to talk. And so today we created a space, and that's how today he is here. Just to give a very brief summary of Brother Velayudham. So he has got 3 children, and one is in Ottawa, another 2 are in US, and they're all well settled. They're all software consultants. As a person, as Velayudham as a person, he has done a very higher level qualification he has done his master's in engineering, and he has served at a principal level at the Polytechnic College in India, and he has also written books on computer programming in Basic Programming and Fortran. Apart from that, I have seen him in the last couple of months, I would say last 2 years, the amount of knowledge that he has on spiritual, the amount of interest he has to sing on bhajans or anything devotional singing is amazing. He's really great from that point of view. So, without further ado, I want to hand over to Brother Velayudham and let us listen to him. Thank you.
Namachivayam. Om Sri Satya Sai Baba, give me strength. Sai Ram, everyone. I feel great pleasure to stand before you to say a few words how Swami inspired to inculcate within me his most important messages. I am really touched by a few examples of his messages, which are of course universal and simple looking, but it requires a lot of courage in observing them. In my talk, I have chosen the topic of my talk is actually practice before you preach. In the invitation, it was given as a service. My center of talk is only services of Swami. And the name of the topic I have chosen from a sloka which Swami has mentioned on many occasions. I liked that the essence of the sloka, that is why I have taken the topic practice before you preach, which is directly related to service. This is an analysis, simple analysis of Swami, some of the messages and services. I will very briefly touch upon the 5 basic human values of values that were given by Swami for our understanding and realization, and then a few quotes of Swami, then a sloka. From the sloka, how service is derived will be explained. Then I will give you a list of services done by Swami. Finally, I will just refer the similar services done by 2 Tamil saints of 7th century in Tamil Nadu, and I will wind up the show. The Swami has shown much interest and importance with the 5 basic human values. Why he has given so much important in that is that the 5 basic values like truth, right conduct, love, peace, and non-violence. These are the paths to achieve successful life. And also, am I audible? Okay. And also that the 5 basic values are the foundation of the building up of the upliftment of the living standard. So that's why Swami has given so much importance in these 5 basic values. Let us go through an overview of that 5 values. We are not going to very deep into it because time is very limited. I have to take up the other part of the talk. With the blessings of Swami, we'll start with truth. You know, truth is the actual state of a matter. Man's value is based upon his reliance on truth. Really, it is the truth which makes a man stable and courageous for all time. And while we are discussing truth, it's very important to feel that, you know, if you try to cover up your truth, you have to say a lie. Then you have to cover up that lie. You will have to lie for 9 times. This is the proverb we have in our village. So better avoid covering up of truth. Right conduct. Right conduct is the foundation of the welfare of society. You know, conduct and discipline will develop a child into compassionate man with the character. Swami aptly insisted that the discipline and the conduct should be part of any educational curriculum. Love. You know, love is nothing but fondness. The end of knowledge is love. How the knowledge comes, we know the aim of education is knowledge. Swami said the end of education is character. So combining these two, I said, obviously, the aim of education is knowledge with the character. Because we want character always to be incorporated with any knowledge. And also, you know, love to mankind induces a man to help others. Therefore, we also may state that love with character, to make it perfect, love with character will induce a man or a tendency to help others. Then, what is help? If you can spare something to others, is a help normally. But all helps are not real. There are 2 kinds of help mainly. One is that if you help others with some motives that you want to get back something in return, then that help is a very ordinary help. That help is actually merely a transaction of something. But if you can help by giving something to others without any selfish motive or without expecting any return from them, that help is a real help, and that help is actually service. So service is nothing but help without self motives. Now service is a help. But all the helps are not service. The Swami said, love all, serve all. So love is directly connected to service. I need some water. Sorry. Next, peace. Peace is the stage at which senses are mastered and held in balance. When truth, conduct, and love are shared, peace reigns. Thank you very much. And we are always very much interested in getting peace, but we are not getting peace so easily. Because when my mind becomes restful only, we can attain peace. But for getting our mind restful, it should you must see that you are not worrying about anything. If you are straightforward and you are faithful to truth, really, and if you are going on this correct path, bearing good conduct, you need not worry about anything. Always you can keep your mind in peace. Then non-violence. The attitude of greediness is the starting point of violence. Anger and emotion cause not only violence on others, but also permanent stress on himself or yourself. That means that even if you are provoked, you may get angry with emotion and cause some sort of violence to others. But you may think that you have won in that attempt, but it is not real. When you cause some injury or even mental stress to others, it will reflect back with a permanent mental stress on you. Therefore, you always examine your mind and thoughts and reconcile with the after effects of the violence. Swami aptly said, help ever and hurt never. So with this, we will go for some references of quotes. The first quote is divine courage. Initially, we have seen that for observing human values, you require a lot of courage. How did courage come? Swami also given some advice how to get courage. Divine love and an attitude of surrender to God will give you great courage to meet any emergency. Such courage is called divine courage. So why do you bother about it? When we have courage within, when you are ready to surrender to God and we are bold enough to face anything, why do you bother about courage? You can face any truth, any right path, right conduct, and love to others, and you will win the race. Then next, it is the poster in which Swami is touching how actually it works out. So Manava Seva is Mahesh Seva. The hands that serve are better than the lips that pray. Another quote is the task. The task I love most is to alleviate the suffering of the poor people by providing them with what they lack. This Swami has chosen at his age of 22 in May 1947. So Swami was very much particular about servicing people. He has taken from this task of quotation. Then next we take a Telugu sloga, which Swami has mentioned on many occasions. And he has taken the essence of that for the purpose of his concept of service. ಕಾಷಾಯ ವಸ್ತ್ರಮು ಕಟ್ಟಿನ ಮಾತ್ರನ కరతల ఆమలకంపు కాదు భక్తి నోటిదో మంత్రంబును ఉచ్చరించన లోన చేసిన పాపంబు చెదరిపోదు గీద చేపట్టి కేకలు వేసిన పుణ్యంబు మన ఇంట ప్రోకపడదు చెప్పు మాటలకు చేతలకు చేసేది సామ్యం ఉండేడి వాడే సాధువగున్. I will just give the essence of the meaning of this sloka. Kashaya vastramu kattina matrana karadala amalagambhu kadu bhakti. That is, just by wearing the dress of a saint, one is not going to get devotion. Notido mantramu uchcharinchana lona chesina pavambu chedaripodu. Just by chanting the mantra, even with the correct pronunciation, one is not getting the sin, and one is not getting rid of the sin from his mind. Then, Geeta Chepatti Kekalu Vesina Punyampu Manayinda Proku Padatu. Even by reading Geeta at louder voice, the grace of God could not enter his house. He cannot expect the grace of God just by reading the Gita. The last line is, Cheppu matalaku chetalaku chesedi saumya undedi vade sadhuvagun. Whoever is practicing his preaching equally well is only the true servant of God, and he can experience the blessings of God. So this is the essence of is this. So what we understand from this sloka is that, so unless we implement what he wanted to convey messages or moral instruction, unless he practice it or implement it with his own actions, his moral instruction or messages will not have any value and will not be received with due respect. That is the meaning of it. The Swami has shown much interest on this sloka, and he has taken that service is very much important in uplifting the living standard of the human being. There, we have seen already what is service. Why Swami has very much interested in service. Swami has actually, should Swami do service? Is it not just enough for him to say messages and leave it as it is? No. But Swami is very much interested to alleviate the disparity of among the people, so that the difference between the people or among various levels of people can be minimized by supporting the people who are not having sufficient requirements, which they are not able to meet the minimum requirements. Probably to a certain extent they can be uplifted. In this context, I want to say that, Swami is very much interested to know that everyone should realize these basic values and other messages and follow his messages to the extent possible. But, when just by giving messages, people may not be showing much interest to observe it. So that is why Swami showed much interest in servicing by himself and showing that how the messages are going to carry the actual effects of it in meeting the basic requirements of the people. Now, I list out some of the very few services Swami has done. Of course, we will not be able to cover the entire thing. I am taking only very few examples. And I have divided the services into two parts. One is quality education and health care. Swami established an Institute of Higher Learning in 1981, which was later on upgraded as university. And Swami has also established two super specialty hospitals. One in Puttaparthi, the other one is Bangalore. And these super specialty hospitals are not ordinary hospitals. They have been built to the world standard. I think I was told that these super specialty hospitals are within the 50 universities of the world. And one super specialty hospital has been built by spending about rupees 250 crores. And after that, Swami established an Institute of Medical Sciences attaching to each of the super specialty hospitals, and also established many schools and colleges at various places. On the top of all, what we have to very keenly notice that Swami made the services of all the institutions and all the hospitals free to all. So the intention of Swami to help the poor in giving high quality education and high quality healthcare treatment have been fulfilled by these establishments and services that were done by Swami. You can understand how generous Swami is in establishing these kinds of things. More than about 1,000 crores have been spent for establishing these institutions. Then the second part of the services is listed under timely help to the needy people. Swami, when Swami came to know about people even at distant places, they are suffering for good quality of drinking water, or they were suffering by any earthquake, or due to any damage or flood or tsunami. And he realizes that how much the people were suffering for getting food even, or cloth even. So in those circumstances, Swami was ready to send the disastrous assistance immediately without looking for how much amount will be spent for that. Swami spent about 300 crores for the drinking water projects in Anandapur district first, because the water content in the Anandapur district was contaminated with fluoride, which was not potable or drinkable, and therefore he spent about 300 crores of rupees for having new water projects entirely for the whole district, and also about 100 crores for the east and west Godavari districts. Then, when there was a very big earthquake occurred in 2001 in Gujarat, and thousands of people lost their belongings, Swami sent immediately loads of trucks of materials for the victimized people or affected people. And similarly, when South Asian tsunami occurred in 2004, Swami sent maximum possible assistances to the affected people. And there was a great flood occurred in Odisha in 2008. Swami actually arranged to construct 700 houses And these pre-constructed houses were distributed to the people who are very much affected and who lost their houses in that flood. And next one is Satyas Sai Ganga project. You know, I am very much interested in this because I was one of the 60 lakhs people in Chennai city benefited by the great generosity shown by Swami. The Satyas Sai Ganga is the water project, drinking water project for getting water from Krishna river of Andhra Pradesh to the Chennai city of Tamil Nadu. And within the year around 2000, there was acute scarcity of water in Chennai city due to the absence or insufficient monsoon rain for the previous 2 years. There was already an agreement between the Andhra Pradesh government and Tamil Nadu government for sparing water from Krishna river, especially for the Chennai city. There was a canal already cut from Kandaleru Reservoir, that is the part in the Krishna river, to the Chennai city, but that river was not properly worked out, so it was very shallow and it was not sufficient enough to carry required quantity of water to Chennai city. So even though there was a canal, it was not to be used for the purpose for supplying required quantity of water to Chennai city. Therefore, because of the scarcity of water in Chennai city, the Tamil Nadu government was looking for the proper canal, renovated canal, so that we can get sufficient quantity of water. Andhra government was ready to spare water, but the canal has to be newly renovated, and the cost estimate for renovation of the canal and necessary other infrastructure was about rupees 250 crores. On hearing this problem faced by people of Chennai city, Swami generously came forward to announce that he would give rupees 200 crores immediately and for the reconstruction of the canal. And this was received with gratitude by the people of Chennai city as well as both the governments. Work was started, and Swami wished that it should be completed at the earliest possible time. The work was actually carried out on day and night war footing state, and work was completed within 15 months. And on 23rd November 2004, coinciding Swami's 79th birthday, the project was commissioned. So this gives very great pleasure for the people of Chennai city, including myself. Lastly, Swami has also arranged for routine supply of food and cloth for the people who are living in the remote villages at a predetermined or prefixed intervals. Then, I want to include in my talk as a special reference that such kind of services as Swami did are a little less. Two great saints of Tamil Nadu of the 7th century has done some service. That actually, you know, why I have included this with these services of Swami is that I want to establish that the people, whoever is extending services to uplift the poor people, are remembered even centuries together. So with that, I want to say that Swami Satya Sai Baba will be remembered centuries together. Even this is a very simple story, very interesting story. I will just explain with your permission, but I will take only a few minutes. Now, Appar and Sambandar were great Tamil saints. Appar, actually, the full name is Tirunavukkarasar, alias Appar, and Thiruñana Sambandar is shortly named as Sambandar. And Appar was actually about in his 70s years of age, and Sambandar was only a boy in the age of 10 or 12. They were able to compose Tamil hymns. Whenever they enter into the Shiva temple, and spontaneously they will outflow of the hymns in singing with raga. That these great saints have actually composed thousands of songs, but they were also that they were capable of actually mediating with Lord Shiva, and with that they have done a lot of miraculous help to the needy people during their life. And in one occasion, actually these two saints used to travel and visit very many temples throughout their life and compose hymns. On one occasion, they met each other at a place and came to a place called Thiruvizimalai. It is near to Thirukadavur. We may be knowing about this. And when they, as usual, they entered into a Shiva temple there, they saw thousands of people who already assembled there in the temple. They were all looking very sad. When asked for the reason, they said, Swami, we are very much starving for food. We did not have even money to purchase food grains because they were sold higher prices. We don't have money also. Then, hearing that, both the saints decided to help them. They didn't have anything. Swamis did not have anything to help. But only thing is, they will request Lord Shiva during their prayer or worship. They requested Lord Shiva. On that night, they saw a dream in which Lord Shiva appeared and told them that these people will be helped by a special plan. What is that plan? Swami, Lord Shiva also told that the plan was that every morning there will be 2 gold coins placed at the 2 entrances of the temple. That is the Shiva temple. On the western entrance, there will be 1 gold coin placed, and on the eastern entrance, another gold coin placed. And Swami Appar would pick up the coin from the western entrance and the Sambandar from the eastern entrance. And this system would become continued for months together till the situation improved. And every morning, this message was conveyed to the people there, that people would gather in front of the temples. These 2 saints would pick up the coins, gold coins, and they would arrange for purchasing the food grains. That food grains will be distributed to the people every day. That food grains would be sufficient enough for the day. So every day this will be repeated. And Appar and Sambandar used to travel. They will not be staying in a particular place. They used to travel and visit various temples. And they have decided to cancel their further programs and stayed in that village for the months together till such a situation that there would be pouring of downpour of heavy rain, and people were very much happy. They started cultivation, and after that only the two saints left that place. So such kinds of services, these saints were actually carried out on very many occasions at various places throughout their life. And because of that, such services only, those saints are still remembered. Actually, their lifetime was in 7th century. Still, they are remembered, not only for their composition of thousands of hymns, Tamil hymns, but also because of their services, great services done by them. With this, I want to conclude. Without forgetting, congratulating our Sai Center for their sincere services as Swami wished, promoting spiritual programs, educating the children with the human values, and community services like feeding the homeless people every month, and also maintaining strict discipline in carrying out all the activities of the center. I am very much impressed by the strict discipline maintained here in all the activities. And I am very much happy that I was able to give a talk on this with the help of the committee members, the president, committee members, and all others of the center. And before saying goodbye, I want to sing two songs, if you permit me. Those two songs are actually composed by one Appar, the other one Jnanasambandar. The first song I am going to sing is, both are Devaram. You would have heard about Devaram. The sing is one which was sung by Appar when he first surrendered to Shiva at his age of about 50. And this song was actually one among the first 10 songs out of the total about 4,000 songs available now. This is I am doing as a token of my surrender to Swami. சலம்பூவோடு தூபம் மறந்தறியேன் தமிழோடிசை பாடல் மறந்தறியேன் நலம் தீங்கிலும் உன்னை மறந்தறியேன் உன்னாமம் என்னாவில் மறந்தறியேன் உலந்தார் தலையுள் பலிகொண்டுழல்வாய் உடலில் ஒரு சூலை தவிர்த்தருளாய் அலந்தேன் அடியேன் அதிகை கெடில அலந்தேன் அடியேன் அதிகை கெடில விரட்டான துறை அம்மானே. Actually, Appar had an unbearable stomachache. He could not actually cure that stomachache by any of the doctors available then. He finally thought that only by Shiva his stomachache had to be cured. He came to his own place and stood before Shiva and sung these songs. Say, Shiva, I have got unbearable stomachache. I did not forget to give you puja. I did not forget to pray about you and think about you. Please wipe off my stomachache. That is the meaning of that song. The next song is one sung by composed by Jnana Sambandar. This song is about Vibhuti Prasad. மந்திரமாவது நீரு வானவர் மேலது நீரு சுந்தரமாவது நீரு துதிக்கப்படுவது நீரு தந்திரமாவது நீரு சமயத்தில் உள்ளது நீரு செந்துவர் வாயுமை பங்கல் திரு ஆலவயான் திருநீரே. So at this point of time, I may request you that every one of us will try to practice Swami's messages to the extent possible and experience his blessings through our daily activities, our day-to-day activities. That is what I also experience in my daily activities. Thank you very much. Thanks the Sai Center and all the committee members for having given the opportunity for making a talk. And also, I thank Sri Satya Sai Baba. Thank you, one and all, for patient listening. Thank you very much.